Hello, my name is Hersh, and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's all right. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. All right, so to start off, I just want to say a statement that I actually caught myself telling somebody the other day. Is a young gentleman. We was having a conversation, and he was just so embedded in his past, and he hadn't even had enough years on this earth. But it doesn't matter. It takes that one moment to stick with you, like we was previously discussing. And it might not be something as traumatic as, just molestation, but it's traumatic nonetheless.
And we also have it in our DNA. It comes from mother like to here.
And the toxic family members do.
It's generational DNA.
There's toxic people around you at any given cost. There's going to be toxic people around.
And sometimes we're toxic.
Oh, I definitely am. I know I am.
But admitting it and be like, you know what?
I know I have.
Perfect at all.
I've had my moments, and I still have my moments, and I catch myself and be like...
But you catch yourself.
And maybe I shouldn't have said that way. I meant what I said, but maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. You know what I mean? Because it comes out kind of toxic. Mm-hmm. Because I am a controlling individual, especially in my space, in my household, and I'm allowed to be selfish to a certain extent and controlling in my life.
Well, this is your sacred space.
Exactly. So, but there's moments where I'm like, I let it bubble over. Let me snatch that back. My bad, player. I didn't mean to say it that way. That is one thing about
you. You will always be like, you know what? That was my fault.
Yeah.
And you will.
Oh,
you have no qualms with being like, you know what? That's my bad.
Yeah, it's my bad. Because I'm not perfect.
Now, a lot of people don't. They don't have to do that.
No, people will expect for you just to pick back up. Like, you've had this moment, and then people treat like nothing's ever happened. Like, did you not just see what you did to me yesterday? But at the same time, that was our norm growing up as well. So it does come down from generation, and what we've been shown and seen. But one statement that I told this young man, because he was so disheartened by the moment that he was faced with another family member. And I told him, I was like, sweetheart, listen, live in today. Today is the day. Yesterday is gone. But today, the present moment is setting you up for the betterment of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Don't live in tomorrow. Have a plan and go by your goals and your steps for tomorrow. But live today. You can't accomplish everything in one day. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's no possible way that you can accomplish everything in 24 hours. But if you allow 3 hours of that to be based off of what happened yesterday with the situation that was negative, you just wasted 3 hours of your day bitching about that. Mm-hmm. And not focused on today for the betterment of tomorrow. And it hurts you. And we're all guilty of it.
No, vent it out. But don't waste 3 hours. Get it out. But
like I used to tell, my soldiers and battle buddies and all that in the military, it's like, we can bitch about it because this is some bullshit. But let's bitch about it and get it done at the same time.
Yes.
Especially your priorities and your responsibilities. Because you, at the end of the day, are responsible for you.
That's correct.
And in society's eyes, when you turn 18, you grown. That's what we embed in our... When you turn 18, I can't wait for you to turn 18 to be able to... But then when they turn 18, you're still like, wait a minute, no, I still need you to do X, Y, Z. But we've already embedded in them when they turn 18, they can go get their own place. They can go get but they need to be financially responsible and understanding. But at the same time, you can't tell them to figure out who they are and then take it from them in the same wind. You can't. So if I'm so focused on what's going on right now with my lovely unicorn and lack of coffee, and I'm getting so frustrated that I need my coffee, I'm wasting time of getting the message out. Mm-hmm. Why would I be so aggravated by the lack of coffee? But there's people like that.
I know.
There's oh my God, it is ridiculous. And again, I'm not perfect. I have my moments where I just want that control. Let's figure it out. You're not on the path you need to be on. but I'm not living in my today. I'm not allowing you to live in your day.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets aggravating because I do see the potential in people.
You see the potential and you know what you could do.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, I could have done that in a day.
But I'm not that person.
Yeah, you got to.
And that's where I have to wheel that back in.
Everybody has their own path and their own time. I call it divine timing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has that. Like my brain don't work like your brain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I have sometimes obviously because when I tell stories it goes all over the place. But I always come back to the topic.
And my quartz is off. But that is true.
Uh-huh.
That is true. We all are not on the same pace, and I think and that's where some of the toxicness comes from too, because we have those expectations of
and living in your own timeline.
Why are you not on the level that I know you can be on? Because I see that you could be there. So, and then that's where it might start bubbling over, where I'm getting frustrated at you. Mm-hmm. And it's not fair to you or to myself. For one, I'm wasting my energy focused on what you got going on. Mm-hmm. I'm not minding my business. I'm minding your business. Mm-hmm. And I have done that. And I have been guilty of that many of times.
And that's where, you don't know what's going on in a person's life.
Yeah.
And there's always something, and that's the truth. Like, I deal with things differently than other people. Everybody deals with their own thing. Sometimes it might take me a day to recoup from something. I have to recharge. I call it my recharge, and I do. I've always been like that. I call it I have to recharge. I'm not a big total introvert, but I'm also extroverted too. So it's kind of like a balance for me.
Yeah.
But
I also tell people as well, it's not that I know more than you. Because they're like, oh, you swear you know everything.
No, you're the biggest motivator ever.
But people ain't always going to take it as motivation. And I had to realize that. Mm-hmm. I can't speak to everybody the same way. Mm-hmm. I have to figure out how this person soaks in information. Mm-hmm. That's why the HERshyt Show is we're going to put it out there naturally. And if some people may pick up on it, some people might not give a shit. Some people might think it's fake. Some people might think it's scripted. I don't give a shit. But as long as it's
not scripted,
right? It's definitely not scripted. But if it reaches one person, that we're like, you know what? They right. Flea and her, they right. And or you got people that know me from back in the day, and they be like, this bitch up that line, And that's okay, because they might have their own perception on who I was, but I don't live in the past. I live in the present.
That's it.
I've done my dirt. Mm-hmm. I've done some dumb shit.
Oh, Lord, mine too.
But we survived, and we molded it, and we matured, and we evolved, and I still have growing to do. Mm-hmm. I admit that. I still have goals that I want.
That's every human. That's every person.
I've been homeless. I've been depressed. I've hurt people physically. I've hurt people mentally. Mm-hmm. I'm not ashamed of any of that, but that's my past. Mm-hmm. It helped mold me into who I am today, so I live today for the betterment of tomorrow for my son, because I want that generational curse broken.
Yes.
And for our other children, my nieces, my nephews, whoever, godchildren, like I'm embracing everybody, and even grown folks. Because I'm looking at them, and one thing nobody can ever say is, even though, yes, I was a hellacious individual or whatever, but I was always a protector. Mm-hmm. I was always trying to get somebody to pull out the best potential in themselves, even at a young age. Mm-hmm. And I'm very boisterous anyway. I'm naturally loud. I'm naturally country. I'm naturally hood. I'm naturally everything. And I can't whisper for shit. So when I come at you and tell you something, it's not out of disrespect for you. I'm just trying to get you to open up your eyes for yourself. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it's not that I know more than you. I done did a lot more dumb shit than you. And I learned from bad experiences or good experiences. And I'm trying to get you to not go down that broken path. Get the
wheels turning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Before it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Get the wheels turning.
Because believe it or not, it can be too late. It can be too late. So you need to live life. What'd you say about that article? There was an article with somebody so stressed about.
Oh, it was something I've read. Several stories actually, but they're all different topics, but kind of the same subject about these people were worried about, they had like $8 million, $10 million in their bank account savings, whatever it was, but they were worried to death about
it's not enough.
Years, or it's not enough, the house paid for, or give it to the kids, whatever it was. But I'm sitting there thinking, that's what you're worried about?
Like that's not
But
living.
it's too much in the future. Enjoy it now. I mean,
Right.
I'm like, hello.
Let me hold $5.
I mean, because you're not guaranteed.
You're not. Tomorrow is not.
You're not guaranteed a year. Nope. You're not guaranteed a month. You're not guaranteed 10 years. That's why I'm
not guaranteed 10 minutes after we finish recording this show.
Definitely not me. I think I've had 9 lives. I'm not one of them cats. I'm serious.
You about 8 quarters in.
Woo! I got just a little bit hanging on.
I know definitely. I'm 9 lives because. Oh, Jesus.
I just counted them. I'm like, well, there's one.
But there was one thing that took a long time for me to understand, and it was still within my teenage years, but we're here for a purpose. Mm-hmm. We might not understand what that purpose is, but you're here for a reason, and everything happens for a reason, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm. I mean, God places us
in situations.
You know, like saying a certain word, and it will trigger somebody. It might change their path. It might click. There's been things I've said years and years and years ago that somebody comes to me and be like, I remember you saying so and so, and I'm like, really? Mm-hmm. And that's awesome.
And you don't realize the impact that you have.
No, and it's just impacts on people, you know, whether it's just something simple. You know, and when I do good deeds, I don't post it online. I don't video myself giving to people. I don't do that. But I mean, great if you do. I just don't.
No, I'm not trying to give you a cup of change and take a selfie. Like, that is some bullshit to me. I can't stand that.
And I'm giving, but I'm not.
That bothers deep.
I know. And I just don't.
Because you're not doing it for humankind.
No,
you're doing it for selfish reasons to let me show people. Why? I don't have to prove to nobody that I help. You know how many people, listen, I about cussed real hard just then. But people that really care and help other people don't have to put that shit on social media.
You know, and I think about the person too, the homeless person or whoever.
Like, how do they think
I'm
they
like,
feel?
how do they feel? You know, they probably feel. I immediately go back to that person. Well, how does that person feel? They probably feel like total shit.
You've actually had some people that get mad because the homeless individual or the needy individual didn't accept that food or whatever because they didn't want to be blasted out like that. I mean, you're messing with their humanity. You know?
There's been several times I didn't have no
it's
money
degrading.
to give.
It's degrading.
Yeah, I didn't have money to give, and you know what? I had some Taco Bell in my car. I got that, and I thought, you know what? He had a sign out, and I pulled it. I didn't know where I was. I was going to visit somebody.
They was going to get a good detox out of Taco Bell.
No, I'm just saying. And no, I didn't have any money to give, but I thought,
I'm going to get it.
You know, he said, I'm hungry, need food, money. Well, I thought, you know what? I pulled over. I didn't know where I was. I was somewhere between here, going down.
It just happened.
And I thought, I pulled over in the gas station, got out, got the 2 things out of my bag. That's all I had. And I said, look, I don't have any money to give you, but here you go. You take the food. But I knew I felt good. I was like, gave him something to eat. That's the best I could do. Mm-hmm. Not my business. What do you deal with it? Mm-hmm. I just went on.
And there was a gentleman, it was an older gentleman at Walmart one day, and something in my soul just kept, like, I was watching him. I literally watched him walk to Walmart. Uh-huh. Like, I passed him on the way. And then when I was getting ready to leave, because I only buy as I go anyway. Everybody that knows me knows I only get my 2 little things and I'm cooking that day, and that's it. That's all, because I don't like to waste groceries. So I come out to my truck, and I'm getting in the truck, and he caught my eye. And you could tell he was an older gentleman, elderly man, and my heart just would not let me drive off. You know, so I actually pulled up on him. I probably scared the shit out of him. Because I pulled up on him in my truck, and I'm like, hey, you need a ride? You know what I mean? And he's looking at me like, who this old crazy ass little girl? And I was like, no, for real. I see you walking. I blocked traffic in the middle of leaving Walmart so I could get him in the truck just to give it was on the way to my house. Mm-hmm. He legit stayed in a location, like one of the efficiency lodges close to my house. And I was like, you know what? It was meant for me to see you. Mm-hmm. I ended up getting his name, and he come to find out he was a veteran.
There you go. That's what touched.
And he was in his 70s, and his wife was kind of, she was kind of bedridden. And I got to talk to him about how to get Social Security. I got to talk, I was giving him websites and giving him information.
So that's part of the path or paths.
Yeah.
Putting that path.
I'm giving you this information, and it was just the way his legs were so bowed out. It was from actually being in airborne school, and he ended up breaking his legs, but they didn't give him veteran status. He got put out because he failed. And back then, It wasn't the same as it is now. So my heart was just like, oh my God, now every time I see you, I got to give you a ride. And me and him became real cool. Like to this day, we still talk.
I love it.
I still talk. Every time I see him walking down the road, because he's getting groceries for his wife. I even showed him how to order from Walmart.com to get the groceries to
the little things like
the
that.
location.
I mean, so yeah, I love it.
Stop. And I didn't take a picture of the man and post it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we do create charities, and you do have to put certain things out there.
There are some people that panhandle for a living.
Yeah.
they live way better than us.
Right? Yes, indeed. But, some people have actual organizations where they need to put up certain things. Got it. But you don't have to put
that's fine. Yeah.
those people's faces out there.
Well, just like in school, you see them videos where this kid didn't have nothing. This boy would come in with new Jordans for him or whatever.
Oh, that is amazing. I love
that. But then I think about that kid and how embarrassing it probably is. I'm probably like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's grateful, but he's probably like humiliated that he's on.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't help but think about. I'm real big about putting myself in other people's shoes.
Yeah. And sometimes we all slip too. We feel good about it and we speak about it, just like we just spoke about 2 different situations. But we didn't post it that day. We're discussing about it. And there's other situations where nobody will know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people have helped me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been down and out.
I'll tell you something.
And people, I owe my life to a few people.
And I'll tell you one thing that after I got divorced, I'll never forget. I moved to my grandmother's house by myself. And my mother's, nobody knew that I was like kind of struggling. I was really trying to, get it together. And I remember my mom's business partner, she come over with a trunk full of groceries, $200 worth of groceries. And that made my world.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling. I thought I will always pay it forward.
Yeah. That's the thing, pay it forward.
And I remember thinking, how much gratitude I had for those groceries.
Mm-hmm. It came at the right time.
And I was like, I won't ever forget it.
Yeah.
Ever.
So you got to think about it. So again, it's living in today.
Mm-hmm.
It is living in the moment for yourself. You might not be where you want to be. It doesn't matter if you leave your children $5 or $10, or if you can't leave them anything at all. I would strongly advise getting some type of life insurance, at least, to pay for your funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Or burial insurance, to where it's directly paying for the funeral.
Yeah.
And if you're capable of being able to pay your house off and leave that for your children, that's good too. But don't be so overly stressed that you're not living in your moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're so embedded in your past coming back to you and biting you in the ass, because karma is a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments where it might, and you have to face that. You have to face your truth, regardless if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I've done things that, have came back and, hey, surprise, you know what I mean?
That's just the common. That's the universal laws. So.
And one thing Vicky Lynn did teach me was one day at a time. One day at a time.
One foot in front of the other.
Do what you can control.
Yeah.
Do what you can. You can't control everything.
Uh-huh.
As frustrating as that is for some of us, including myself, you cannot control everything around you. And if you don't have the adaptability skills to maneuver, step back, analyze, tactfully relocate, and keep it moving, or change your game plan,
mm-hmm.
then you're hurting yourself, not helping yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all navigate differently.
Yeah.
I call it navigating. We all navigate in a little boat, a little vessel differently. Yeah.
It could be the same math problem in front of us. You might get it in 2.3 seconds, and my ass is over here counting on toes and fingers.
Well, that would be me. Yeah.
So we all learn differently. We all get there at different paths. And some people are coming out of situations where they've been codependent for so long, they're having to learn to be dependent.
Yes.
And it's harder, but they're comparing themselves to other people, or they have that toxic mother or that toxic father.
Something that's so small to others, like when I left, just paying a bill or something, that was huge for me.
I didn't know how to do that shit. I did
it was huge for me.
I didn't know how to do it.
So, I mean, it was like a huge thing for me. And it was something small. Like, everybody else does it on a daily basis, but it was huge for me.
But a lot of people don't ask either.
That was a big thing. And I thought I'd put that in my belt, and I said, okay, one step at a time,
Yep, and we're going to take a break and come right back, because we definitely got to come back to the building, the asking, and living for the now, but you still got to ask. We'll be right back.
Subscribe to the HERshyt Show on YouTube and Facebook. Support by purchasing merchandise at www.8robinsons.com.
No, I mean, I was left with the bill, like, they left me in this rental house, my granny's house, with all these bills, and I was like, okay. So I went to the power company. I was like, can y'all reduce it, put it on a rate? It was too far behind, and it was too much, a lot of money. So I thought, so that was a big thing. I thought, okay, I'm not going to panic. I'll get it paid off somehow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was a huge, it was nothing to nobody else, like people do it on a daily basis, but it was a big thing for me.
But the big thing in totality is we weren't taught growing up how to pay bills. We just knew the bills got paid.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I wasn't taught none of that. I just knew that sometimes we had lights, sometimes we didn't. I knew that if the rent center pulled up, you hid behind the, up under the, like we struggled. It was for real. You know what I mean? Like we had fried bologna sandwiches, syrup sandwiches, the shit was banging. But we were not taught every month you have to pay this bill. We were not taught budgeting. They did the best that they could in their own budgeting styles. Mm-hmm. Well, in my case, in a lot of other people's cases, not necessarily everybody. Yeah. But we was in a position to where we legit lived check to check. Mm-hmm. And I kind of noticed it as I got older. You know what I mean? I knew that we wasn't going to have the best of it, but we had a roof over our head. We had, food in the house, something. Yeah. We had
your basic needs.
You better not touch the Coca-Colas, but you can have that sweet tea that was right beside it.
The parents had their own food. He stayed away from that.
But we made it do what it do with what we had. Mm-hmm. But the bills, living in the present is understanding and budgeting for tomorrow. Yeah, the past is the past. Yeah, I had fucked up credit. Yeah, I had, I might have let a car go back because it was broke down anyway. So I stopped paying for it and let it get repoed. You know what I mean? So we've been there. Mm-hmm. But nobody actually sat us down and said, hey, I'm going to give you grandma's spot. But you got to come up with about $2,500 to live comfortably.
I was like, well, guys,
So we have to teach. That
should be in school. I mean, that should be a mandatory
literacy. Yes.
Honest to God.
Financial literacy, definitely.
And how to garden and grow your food.
They took that all away.
It should be. I'm telling you, it should be a big thing.
But supposedly the STEM schools are doing. Nah, that's a lie. My son goes to a STEM school.
What?
A STEM school. No, I mean they're all into education. Don't get me wrong, but it's. I don't even know how to explain it.
I mean, you learn how to grow tomatoes. Just the basic thing.
The basic gardening. Now, we do know of some teachers that do teach their children, their students, especially the producer's brother. I'm going to bring him. We're going to snatch him on here one day to discuss, the what he does do for the after school community side of the house and on his downtime. One day, I know you're watching this, so just know you're going to come on this show. One day. But, the typical, again, not living in the past. You already know you messed up. You already know what you don't want to go back down and do. You know that feeling. So let's live in the present for a betterment of tomorrow, meaning I need to learn how to budget. I'm going to have to get this self-discipline. Self-discipline. Not somebody else telling me I need to do X, Y, Z. I need to learn in myself that, yes, this is how much I make a month. Everybody and their mama going on cruises and trips and this and that and the third. And there was a post on Facebook. Why do people that's making $18 and $20 an hour busting their ass, but people that make zero always going on trips?
Oh, I've seen that.
9 times out of 10, them $0 makers ain't got no priorities. Or they're null and void. They're overlooking their priorities.
I've seen that time and time again. Which I don't condone. They're living in the present moment.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Take your trips. Go hiking. Go to the beach.
A lot of people, I can't really condone it because I'm like, they're living in the present moment. They're not.
But don't turn around and ask me to hold $20 till next week.
No, and I'm totally get. There's priorities. There is. Don't ask me to pay your power bill whenever you went and had a good blast. You know what I mean? No, I don't agree with that. But
no,
people that are taking trips, you only live now. I mean,
take your trips, please. Have fun. But don't ask me to borrow no money.
That's exactly my philosophy.
Because now, I ain't going on that trip with you.
That's what I'm saying. You go out and have a blast and you want me to suffer? Because I'm like,
I'm not knocking.
Sipping drinks.
No, there's free things that you can do. You could go to there's especially in Georgia. You got hikes, trails.
Parks. I love the parks.
Just go trail, enjoy the nature, embrace it. Get some vitamin D outside of a pill and some D. You know what I mean? But there's free things that you can do. Not everything costs money. Yeah. So you're so stressed out living in the moment, looking at everybody else. You're not really living in your moment.
Yes.
It took me to have to get that self-discipline within myself to start telling people no. Because I didn't have that in me. Because I knew what it felt like not to have. So it's like, I want to tell you no so bad because I know that you ain't shit, but I'm going to help you out anyway. And I'm quite sure there were some people that maybe looked at me that way. Mm-hmm. You still ain't got your shit together? You know, come on, Hersh. You ain't got your stuff together yet. But in the first year of my son's life, I moved 9 times. And then the last 2 times is when the house burnt down and I was living in my car and bouncing from couch to couch or wherever I could lay my head until I was able to move in with my uncle. But then I left like 6 months later to go to Iraq. And then he lost the house while I was gone. So here I am again with nothing. You know, so, but I couldn't blame anybody else.
No.
That was my fault. That was a learning moment for me to go through all that bullshit and to literally lose every little bit that I did have. To understand that when I do get it back, I'm not going to allow anything else to take it away.
The appreciation is different.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to have the best of the best. I tell people all the time, I got poor man pockets with rich man taste. I can make some shit look real good. But that don't mean I paid more than $5
I have very expensive taste. Woo! I always have. I don't know why, but I do. But it don't mean...
No, crafts. Like, enjoy, find your truth. Live in the moment. Live right now. But have your shit in order.
But when it comes to gemstones, I'm sorry, I'm not...
Which is fine.
No.
Which is fine.
But I do it with the intention of reselling because I'm basically a shopper like that gym show.
Mm-hmm. Stop overworking yourself and stop overstressing for something you can't take with you.
It's true.
I'm all about leaving something for your children, for generations to come. But
well, like now, somebody's talking about your legacy. What are you going to leave your kid? I'm like, I don't have any children, so
yeah. I get your gemstones.
But I'm like, I don't think about that.
No, I don't.
I'm like, no, like you don't. I'm like, not really, no.
But we do have to have some type of, it's all about paperwork. Your wishes. Are your wishes in writing? Yes, I'm living for right now, for the betterment of tomorrow. But if something 10 minutes from now happens, does anybody know where my body goes? Do I already have it set? I have my funeral already planned out. My documents are sitting right in there in my filing cabinet. My son knows about it. But not everybody is that way. And I've dealt with so much death that I learned we need to have this in order.
That's true.
You got to have your wishes in order. I don't care if it's in a piece of paper.
I do need to do that, yes.
Write it on a piece of paper. There's one little key phrase that you have to look up to have in there. I'm insane. I mean, not insane, but I am sane and blah, this is true and blah, 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 blah. There's some little key phrase you're supposed to put in it.
Whatever. Okay.
And then you write your letter. And you can get it notarized or not. You know what I mean? But have your wishes in writing.
Okay.
If, like, I already know, my mom already told me what she wants. You know what I mean? And I'm the beneficiary. We've already had this discussion. But people aren't having the hard conversations. And for you to be living in the moment right now, you're also overlooking what the possibilities are for tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
You're so focused on money and material and da-da-da-da.
Well, me and my parents have talked about it. But me, myself, I'm like, I just want to be cremated. But I've said it, but I hadn't wrote it down.
But stop stressing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Live.
I'm not
live. Because you only die once.
Woo. I'm not stressing.
You only die once. So it's just, stop stressing. Stop stressing. Yes, budget the best way that you can. Learn how to call the companies and talk to them and try to work something out.
That helps out a lot. Sometimes they'll work with you.
Communication.
Like, look, I don't have it this month. Or sometimes
some people will let you go 30 days in the hole. Mm-hmm. And it might not even mess up your credit. So, you just stop freezing. And then if people can't help you, you can't get mad at that person because they might be struggling themselves. So it goes hand in hand. But at the end of the day, live for right now. Live today. Live today. Do what you can within this 24 hours. And tomorrow is a whole new day. And if tomorrow does not come, what you gonna do about it?
9 lives. Bye-bye.
But for real, you're really stressing and creating your own medical issues because you're so stressed out that you're not really living today. You're going through life, but you're not living life.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to get away from that. This society now, this generation, our generation is so engulfed in overworking and not taking those moments for ourselves. You're allowed to be selfish sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is still going to be there, and if it's not, there ain't shit you can do about it. You ain't gonna know. You know what I mean? So at least make the good memories.
No, we're coming back to home, people.
I am definitely. I'm gonna be on Ghost Hunters.
There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm gonna be on Ghost Hunters. I sure am.
Her little face gonna be above my head. I'm like, damn, Tasha, move.
I'm gonna start throwing
like,
shit.
You remember that girl? You be telling me all this stuff. I'm like, damn, Tasha, no.
I'm gonna definitely be on Ghost. I'm haunting a lot of people. It's a wrap.
I believe it.
I am.
I believe it.
But you know, we've all gotten caught up in stressors. We've all gotten stuck in moments because we're worried so much about I can't provide, I can't do. Do the best you can. Don't go out robbing people or become a damn dope, but do what your pockets, your sanity, and freedom can handle at the end of the day. Pockets, sanity, freedom.
Sure.
Because if you out here doing some dumb shit because you're so stressed about the lack of bills or the lack of, the money or whatever, and you're trying to live this lavish, there's so many broke ass dope boys out here that it's ridiculous. And girls. There's some broke ass prostitutes, you know what I'm saying? Or there's broke ass people, period. But they're in this lifestyle in this game where they think that they have to always constantly look over their shoulder. Or they're living stressful lives just to survive and ain't got a pot to piss in to show for it. Mm-hmm. So why are you really stressing yourself out and living a life or choosing to live a life that you don't really have to live, especially if you do have the support? You're choosing that lifestyle. You ain't Ghost. You ain't Power. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. And that's not living in today. You're actually living for other people. You're not living for yourself in today.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to survive. Just live. Live. Be yourself.
No, I am myself. There's no changing that.
Use the self-discipline. The motivation might not be there, but I don't give a damn if you got to work 2 and 3 jobs for a little while just to get financial freedom. Ain't no shame in that. And we've already had them discussions about job shames and doing what you got to do. But yesterday is gone. Today is here. 24 hours. You got today to live by for the betterment of tomorrow. And you can't do everything within 24 hours.
Wise words.
But it's going to miss somebody. It's going to go over somebody's head. But that's all right. It's all right. You got any final words to say?
I think you covered it all.
No?
Yeah, you did.
I might have missed something. But that's all right. We'll come back and haunt you later. This is the HERshyt Show. Thank you for joining.
Subscribe to the HERshyt Show on YouTube and Facebook. Support by purchasing merchandise at www.8robinsons.com.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheHershytShow. Brought to you by 8 Robinsons TV and Yellow Tub Creative.